Hey girls, I just melted down these tins, and so I wanted to show you how it goes from start to finish. So you're going to switch this out, start with a completely dry skillet. Then you're gonna you're gonna put your tins inside. Any of the ones that you are wanting to melt down to have them be prettier, or like this one, for example, I use for my eyebrows, so it looks like really jagged, so I just want to make it smooth again. So if you have any tins like that you're starting to like get toward the outside of, and you want all the color to go back into the middle so it's easier to get it with your brush, any of those tins are what you're going to want to melt down this way. So you're going to turn your skillet on and then put it down to like a simmer, medium low, like mostly low. You do want these to melt all the way, and it'll take a little bit longer if you do it all the way to low, but the key is to remember that we do not want to burn these. So if you need to go slower to make sure that they are not burning. You can do any of your tins this way, any of your cream-based tins this way. But do keep in mind that if you are doing a illuminator, those have like glitter in them. So you're going to want to be kind of, as soon as they melt down, like constantly stirring it as it's getting hard again. I'll tell you when at that process, but you're gonna wanna make sure that you're kind of constantly stirring it so that all the glitter doesn't settle to the bottom. I don't melt the glitters as often as these other ones, but I also am not using them as often, so they're not really needing to be melted down. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to get a little glossy. We're gonna keep letting it melt a little bit down, and then once everything looks like glossy, you're gonna take a toothpick and go in there and make sure that everything is out from the sides and even in there. And if you have any kind of gunk, like hairs or lint, anything like that, you are going to take that out with your toothpick and put it on a paper towel so that you're not melting that back in. So this really kind of cleans them up. If your kids got their hands in there, if you accidentally dumped your finger in one, which I'm guilty of, then you would be wanting to melt these down. So this is what you would want to do. So we'll start here with this highlight shade. So it's starting to get really soft and melty. You can turn it down a little bit at this point. You're going to try to move this color toward the center. Now, if you get any gunk on it as you're moving it, that's when you should just take that out. So I have like definitely some gunk here. See that? So then that's what we'll take off, okay? So that'll just be like any fuzz, whatever. You know, I don't even know how it happens, but it for sure does, right? And this gets easier to do as the color gets more melted. So if it's not easy to move, then you need to keep melting it, okay? So we have this little corner here. We definitely want to have the whole surface of the whole tin covered, because that's the point of doing this, the biggest point at least. We want to make sure that these colors all go back toward the middle so that our brush has the biggest surface area to get them out. When they're in the corners, then you can't see them as well. So, and you can't get it on your brush evenly, so then it's just harder to get it evenly on your skin. So I recommend doing this really as soon as you hit the bottom of the tin pan. That's when I would do it the first time. So see how this one looks like pretty much good as new. So then we're gonna move over to the next one. I'll do that black cherry next. I found that toothpicks are the easiest way to do this, okay? So see, this has kind of some other colors in there because black cherry is one that I mix a lot with other things. So you'll just wanna like kind of swirl this all back together and mix in any of those colors that you have. If you wanna be like a total fancy chemist, this is when you could go in and like add in another color and mix them together, and that's how you can make like a custom color. And maybe I'll do another tutorial on that to show you exactly how to make a custom color, because that's fun. So we'll do another video live making some custom colors. But see how this is like really like glossy, very wet. You have to be careful with this because this is one of our glossy colors. So you've got to be careful. You don't want it to get too wet. So make sure at this point that you have it on low, okay? So this one like melted down really easily. This, since it's a gloss, it has a lot of whatever the glossy finish is, so it just gets it really beautiful. So this is back, and it looks like I got all of those colors kind of mixed in. And I don't really see a lot of gunk, which is a good thing. So then we'll do this illuminator. So see how it's already kind of melted back down to the middle as it is? So we don't really have to do a lot with this one. We're just going to make sure that there's no gunk, which I think I found some. So take all the gunk out, and then just make sure that you have this totally get back into the center. If your kids put their hands in your tins and now they're just ugly and you want them to look new again, this is a way that you can do that. Even if they're not like down to the bottom of the pan, like that's totally fine. You can still do them really at any point. So once you're happy with the way that they've melted back down, then you can, oh, more crap in there. Once you're happy with how they've melted down, then you will just turn the heat off, okay? Just want to make sure that there's no more junk, which there is. It's like these little tiny hairs that get stuck in there. They're what, lint of some sort. So be very careful because you don't want to spill this anywhere. This is like liquid gold, right? So then you're just going to turn the heat off and let this cool completely, okay? And as it's cooling, this is where you can kind of look in the light and see it, make sure that there's no like little places that might have a little hair. I feel like it's easier to see that like as it's drying. So you'll want to just go back, make sure that you're not missing any kind of lint or hairs. Get all the gunk out, because this is really like cleaning them up and heating them up, so it's very sanitary, okay? So I'm gonna get that back to the middle so that I make sure that I'm really particular. I like to have everything look very glossy and back into the middle. So then you're just gonna leave this alone, okay? It's very glossy right now. You're gonna leave this alone, and then after they have been left alone, this is what they look like, okay? So then now they are back good as new, glossy, have this beautiful finish. You can put them back into your compact and they look beautiful again. Now with some of the softer colors like black cherry, I like to, once you're able to like hold them, I like to pop them in the fridge for like 10 minutes just to make sure they're back to the fully hardened state. And then you can put them back into your compact like new. Hope this helps.